This conference will now be recorded.
So today let us start off with one more new topic and very important one, JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. JSP stands for what? Java Server Pages. The JSP is used to develop server-side dynamic web applications. Server-side dynamic web applications like servlets. Whatever we can do with servlets, we can even do the same thing with JSP. Now let us understand what is the advantage of going with JSP over servlets. So for that, let us go with an example application which we develop using servlets, and same application we develop using JSP, and we'll try to understand the differences. The application what we want to develop here is, we want to display the current date and time onto the browser window. What is the task here? We want to display the current date and time onto the browser window. Now let us create the servlet. So to create servlet, right click on web project and say new servlet. I'm going with the class name date servlet. Import the related packages. Create the class date servlet extends HTTP servlet. Override duplicate method. Connect to the browser from where we got request. How to connect? Print writer out equal to response dot get writer. Now using this out dot println, we can display the current date and time. How to get the current date and time? By using the date class present in java.util package. In java.util package, we are having the date class. If we just create object of date class, date class present in java.util package, this constructor will return the current date and time onto the browser, which is going to display to us. So here when we run, it is going to start the server and see it is displaying the current date and time onto the browser. Now let us write the same code using JSP. How to create JSP file is, right click on project and say new, and in the list you can see JSP file. In the list you can find the JSP file. Then go with the name. I'm saying date.jsp. The extension what we give for JSP file is .jsp and say finish. Now to display current date and time, simply directly we can say here current date and time. And here we use a tag percentage equal to new java.util.date. That's it. Percentage. Close with percentage. So don't worry what is percentage equal to. We'll discuss today. So how many lines of code we are writing? That only we observe. So now see when we run, we get the same result. See in the case of servlet, we have written 9 lines of code including imports and curly braces, whereas in case of JSP, we have done the same task using single line of code. This is the main difference. Means the code size is less over here. Then one more difference is I want to display this current date and time in H3 format. So here you can include H3 and close H3. Now see, when you run your JSP file again, directly it is showing the result to us in H3 format. It is not asking you to restart the server. In the case of servlets, when we modify the code, it will ask you to restart server. But in case of JSP, it won't ask you to restart server. Directly the results will be visible on the browser. So what are the differences here? Servlets wise JSP. In case of servlets, Java code contains HTML code. In between Java code, we write HTML code. In out.println, we use HTML tags. Whereas in case of JSP, HTML code contains Java code. HTML code contains Java code. So here, this complete thing is our HTML code. Complete thing is our HTML code. In between that, we are including Java code here. We are including Java code, right? Okay. So don't worry what is this percentage tags, which we'll discuss today. Only observe in between HTML, this percentage tags are our Java code. Okay. One more difference is in case of servlets, if the code is modified, we need to recompile and redeploy the application. Redeploy the application. That's the reason it is going to ask you to restart the server. Whereas in case of JSP, if the code is modified, we need not recompile and redeploy the application. That's the reason it won't ask you to restart the server. Major differences. JSP code is less than servlet. JSP code is less than servlet. As in JSP, we can use JSP tags, JSP implicit objects, and the JSTL. The JSP tags, JSTL implicit objects, and JSTL. So because of this, the JSP code is less here. So understanding these topics only completes our JSP, right? Clear up here? Any questions? No. Let us go with the next concept here, JSP lifecycle. So we are having servlet lifecycle. Similar way, we are having JSP lifecycle methods, and the JSP lifecycle methods are JSP init. So the lifecycle methods of servlet are init, service, and destroy. Similar way, here we are having JSP init underscore JSP service and JSP destroy. These three methods are considered as lifecycle methods of JSP. Init method, JSP init method, same concept, called only once when JSP page is loaded. Underscore JSP service called for every request, and cannot be overridden. So very important intro question. Which of the lifecycle method of JSP cannot be overridden means what is answer? Underscore JSP service. Then how to keep the code inside this service method? When we use this percentage tags, no, the code will go to this underscore JSP service method. As a programmer, we cannot override this method. JSP destroy called only once when JSP page is destroyed, means when we close the browser window. Let us enter into the major part of JSP now, that is JSP tags. JSP tags are divided into the categories like directive tags, Scriptlet tags, action tags, and custom tags. JSP tags are divided into the categories like directive tags, scriptlet tags, action tags, and custom tags. These directive tags, we are having three directive tags. They are page directive tag. The symbol is %@page and with again percentage. Include directive tag. The symbol is %include and with percentage. Taglib directive tag. The symbol is %taglib. All the directive tags starts with the symbol %. Scriptlet tags. Again, in under scriptlet tags, we are having three types. They are declaration tag. The symbol is %! And with percentage. Expression tag. The symbol is %! And with percentage. Script tag. The symbol is simple %! This is the tag what we have used in date program. Next one, action tags. We are having some of the important action tags like JSP: include, JSP: forward, JSP: param, JSP: use bin, JSP: set property, JSP: get property. Custom tags used to create user defined tags in JSP. So by using this custom tags, we can create our own tags also in JSP. Now, so understanding these topics is the major part here. So the plan is like, today we'll go with the page directive tag and include directive tag and scriptlet tags. That is the objective of today's class. Along with that, we'll even discuss in between JSP implicit objects. Then day 2, tomorrow we go with this action tags. We'll complete action tags. Then we'll go with the custom tags. When I discuss custom tags, there only we discuss taglib directive and even we go with JSTL. Day 3, very important, day 3, we are going to develop one big application using all the concepts what we have learned. So we'll develop one big application by connecting to the databases. Okay, so the day 3 is complete a big application. So total 3 days for us to complete this JSP. Now, let us start off with the first one, page directive tag. The symbol of page directive tag is %@page and with percentage. And the use is used to import Java packages. Use it for what purpose? To import Java packages. Like example, how to import is %@page. We have to use the attribute import. We have to use the attribute import equal to, go with the import statement here. What is the package we want to import? Java.util.star. So this is the way to import packages in JSP. If I want to import one more package, you can say %@page import equal to java.sql.star and with percentage. In case of Java, using single import statement, we can import only one package. But in case of JSP, using single page directive, we can even import multiple packages like this, java.util.star, comma, just to separate the packages by comma, enclosed in double quotes, java.sql.star, like this. Using single page directive, using import attribute, we can even import multiple packages, which is not possible in case of Java. Now see, if you see the date program, if I remove this java.util, then we get error, because we have to say date is a class belongs to which package. So how to import package here? %@ page import equal to java.util.star. Now see, the error will go off now, right? So this is the way to import packages in JSP. We'll be sharing the program. Coming to the next one, include directive tag. The symbol of include directive tag is %@include end with percentage. And the use is used to include other JSP files. Use it for what? To include other JSP files. Like example, in say %@include file equal to, we have to use the attribute file equal to header.jsp. So the complete content of header.jsp will get included at this line. We can go with your own content. Go with the content. Again, if I want to include one more file, you can say %@include file equal to footer.jsp. The complete content of footer.jsp will be included over here. Now, let me explain this with the example codes. Put header.jsp, footer.jsp, include demo.jsp. This we need to run. Right click on project and say new JSP file, header.jsp. Here we go with the heading. Welcome to RRR trainings. Welcome to RRR trainings. This is our heading. Now create footer. Footer.jsp. Copyright RRR trainings. Now create include demo. Create a JSP file. Include demo. Here we want to include header first. How to include header? %@include file equal to header.jsp. That's it. So when this line is executed, it goes to header.jsp. This content, the content present in header.jsp will get replaced at this line. Then you can go with your content like H3 courses offered. Courses offered. And we'll say UL type equal to circle LI databases, LI web technologies, LI programming language, some content. Now once we display our content, then again we'll see now %@include file equal to footer.jsp. When you say footer.jsp, the complete content of footer.jsp will get included here. Now see, when we run, they are getting this content is from header, this is your content, and this is coming from footer. So in order to display this, in order to develop this web page, 3 programmers can work. One programmer can work on header.jsp, one more programmer on footer.jsp, and one more creating the complete content, including the other files. So division of work will be easy in the case of JSP. Clear all of you? The need of going with include directive tag, sorry, %@include, right? Any questions? The next one, let us move to the Scriptlet tags. Scriptlet tags. So let us start off with the first one, declaration tag. The symbol of declaration tag is percentage exclamation and with again percentage. This is a symbol of declaration tag, and the use is used to declare variables and to define methods. What is the use of declaration tag? Use it to declare variables and to define methods. Like example, you can say percentage at the rate int n equal to some 200. We are declaring a variable. We can even define method percentage exclamation void xxx and write some code inside the method. So whenever you want to declare the variable or define methods, then we go with what? Declaration tag. We can even override the lifecycle method. We can even override the lifecycle method. That is JS by init. Whenever you want to define the methods or declare variables, go with what? Declaration tag. Next one, expression tag. The symbol of expression tag is percentage equal to n with percentage. Use it to access the value of the variable. Use it for what? To access the value of the variable and to call methods. To take the value of the variable and to call methods. And the code goes into underscore JSP service method. Whatever the code we write in expression tag, it will go to underscore JSP service method. Like example, you can say percentage equal to n. When you say percentage equal to n, what is the value of n? 200. So what is going to happen? 200 will be displayed in the browser. This is the way to go with the comments here in JSP. Then percentage equal to xxx. We are calling the method xxx. We are invoking method xxx. That's the reason in the date program we have used percentage equal to new java.util.date. Date is what? It's a constructor. Constructor means method. So in order to invoke the method, we use what? Expression tag. Next one, script tag. The symbol is percentage, simple percentage. And the use is used to include the Java statements. We can go with any Java statements. The code goes into underscore JSP service method. Like example, just we want to print the numbers from 1 to 10 on browser, then we go with the script tag and you can write the Java code for int n equal to 1, n less than or equal to 10, n plus plus. Simply say out.println value of n here. Here, just this piece of code will display the numbers from 1 to 10. So here we are using out object directly. So this out is what? It's an implicit object here. So out implicit object. Out is an implicit object in JSP, which is an object of JSP writer class. It's an object of its class, JSP writer class. And JSP writer is a subclass of print writer class. In the case of servlets, we use it to say print writer out equal to response dot get writer. So we have created object out there. But in JSP, we can directly use this out object. That's the meaning of implicit object. Okay. So like example, you can say out.println welcome to JSP. So this message will be displayed on the client browser. A request implicit object. A request implicit object. Request is an implicit object in JSP, which is an object of HTTP servlet request interface. Like example, you can use request dot get parameter of some salary like this. We can use the tag directly like this. Directly we can use request object. Response. Response implicit object. Response is an implicit object in JSP, which is an object of HTTP servlet response interface. So you can directly use percentage equal to response dot send redirect. Response dot send redirect some index dot HTML like this. If you want to redirect to some other page, we can even use this response dot send redirect method. Okay, so we can even use like this response dot set content type text slash HTML like this. So directly we can use the objects here. Then even we are having this session implicit object. We have discussed in servlet same concepts here. Session is an implicit object in JSP, which is an object of HTTP session interface. Okay, so directly we can use session object here. Session dot directly we can use session object. No need to say HTTP session equal to request dot get session. In case of servlets, we use it write the code now. HTTP session equal to request dot get session. So this line of code is not required now. Just to directly use the session object. You can directly say session dot set attribute, some attribute name, username, and value some username, something like this. Okay, so directly we can use the objects. That those meaning only we call implicit objects. Right? Any questions, anyone? Now, let us understand the concepts what we discussed related to scriptlet tags with some example programs. Create a HTML file which accepts a number from user. We want to create a HTML file which is going to accept a number from user. Then, now create a JSP file which reads the number from the HTML file and displays the factorial of the given number. What are the number we are accepting from HTML form? That for that number we want to display the factorial. That is a task here. Let us go with the program. Fact.html, this we need to run where we accept the user input. Then factorial.jsp where we find the factorial of given number. Open Eclipse. Right click on project and say new HTML file, factor.html. Here design the form action equal to factorial.jsp. In the case of servlets, in action we use it to mention the project name like web project slash login servlet, web project slash emp servlet, like that. But without mentioning project, we are giving the name of the JSP. The reason is, in case of this web applications, your servlets, HTML and JSP files are located in the same folder. So when you create HTML files and JSP files, they are located in the same folder, web app folder. So whatever the HTML files and JSP files we are creating, they'll be created in which folder? Web app folder. Okay, which is present under SRC main web app. Under SRC main folder, you can see web app folder. In this web app, we have to create HTML and JSP files. Since HTML and JSP files are located in same folder, you need not go with any path here. Now go with the message, label, enter a number, input type equal to text, name equal to number. Go with a submit button, input type equal to submit, val equal to display factorial. Now when you click on this submit button, display factorial, it connects to factorial.jsp. Now create factorial.jsp. Here we want to define a method. To that method, if you pass the number, it should return the factorial. So whenever we want to define methods in JSP, we use which tag? Declaration tag. What is the symbol of declaration tag? Percentage exclamation. Whenever you want to define methods, go with the declaration tag percentage exclamation. Now define the method int fact, which takes the number as argument. Go with the local variable f equal to 1. Say for int I equal to n, I greater than or equal to 1, I minus minus. That's the formula f equal to f into I. Once the for loop is completed, we return the value of f. So this method, whatever the number you pass, it's going to return the factorial of that number. Hope you remember this logic. Now let us go with the script tag. Let's go with the script tag to read the number from HTML form like this. Int n equal to, how to read the form data? Request.get parameter. Request.get parameter of number. Now see, we are getting error. The reason is, what is the written type of request.get parameter method? Anyone? What is the written type of request.get parameter method? Right, string, right? String. Can we assign a string value to integer directly? No. That's the reason we are getting error. Then how to convert string into primitive integer? What concept we have to use to convert string into primitive integer? Right, that is parsing. We have to go with what? Parsing, not typecasting. Typecasting is between primitive to primitive or reference to reference conversion only. So when you want to convert reference to primitive, parsing. We have to go with what? Parsing. So to do the parsing, integer dot parsing. Request dot get parameter of number. This is the way to read the form data. What is the value we have entered in this text field? Now that value is present in this variable. Now we want to call this method. Now we want to call the method. So here we are reading the form data, converting into primitive integer using parsing. Now say factorial. I want to call the method. So which tag is used to call the method? Percentage equal to fact of the number. That's it. So declaration tag to define the methods, script tag to write any Java statements, expression tag to invoke the methods. Now, run the code from fact.html. Run this code. So it is asking for a number. If I say 6, it's going to display factorial of 6, that is 720. Right? Now I want to do some styling for this. Whatever the content I'm displaying on browser, I want to go with styling. How to go with styling? We have to use CSS. I want to display in H3 format. So when I say H3, the content will be displayed in H3 format. So if I go with the number, this is displayed in H3 format. Even I want to do some styling for H3, then what we have to use? Along with the element, use the style attribute equal to text align center color text align center color blue. Now see, when we run HTML file, if I go with the number as 5, it is going to display factorial 120 in center aligned, then color blue here. So doing styling, presentation, all those things will be very, very easy when we use JSP. Clear this application, all of you? Any questions? No. Let us go with one more application to understand more on this. Create a HTML file which accepts a color from user. We are going to accept a color from user. Create a JSP file which reads the color from HTML file and sets the background color of web page with the given color. Whatever the color we are accepting from a user, that color we want to make it as background color of web page. For that, let us first of all understand the task using a diagram. Using a diagram, let us understand the task first. Now, here we are going to create one HTML file, color.html. In this, we are going to accept a color from user. And then submit button. Here we go with the text field and one submit button. So let us suppose we are going with some color like kayak, something like yellow. We are going with what? Yellow. Now, when you click on this submit button, we want to connect to a JSP file. Let us connect to a JSP file. Let me say bgcolor.jsp. In this bgcolor.jsp, we are going to read the color value. If the value of color is yellow, we want to set the background color of your web page as yellow. Then we want to go with a message. Now we want to go with the message background color below. This message we want to display on the browser. If the user is not filling any color, that means if the color is null or spaces, then we want to display the message. We want to go with the default color, background color white. Background color white. So this is the task what we want to do now. Now let us write the codes. Color.html, this we need to run. bgcolor.jsp. Right click on project and in new HTML file, color.html, design the form, action equal to bgcolor.jsp. Accept a color, we'll say here input type equal to text, name equal to bgcolor, and one submit button. Input type equal to submit, value equal to submit. Now create bgcolor.jsp, bgcolor.jsp. Here we write the script tag to read the color value from HTML form like this. String bgcolor equal to, how to read the form data? Request.get parameter of bgcolor. What are the color we are reading from HTML form? Now we have to check whether it is null or space. How to check? If bgcolor equal to null or bgcolor dot equals space. But how to compare space? The user may go with 2 spaces or 10 spaces like that. So how to know how many spaces user has entered? That is difficult. So in string class, we are having a method trim. If you remember, in string class, we are having a method trim. The use of trim method is to remove the white spaces. What is the use of trim method? To remove the white spaces, and we are comparing with no space. So if it is null or space, then we'll set this bg color value as white. Now come to body tag. How to set the background color for a web page? In body tag, we use attribute bg color equal to, how to take the value of variable bg color using the expression tag percentage equal to bg color. Right? So this will replace the value of the variable what I have entered, or it may go with white if it is null or space. Then go with the message background color. You can take the value of bg color. Whenever you want to take the value of variable, expression tag. Run the code from color.html. It will ask for color. If I say yellow, and I say submit, so we are getting the background color as yellow. If you go with the color as something like green, we get the background color as green. If you go with cyan, we get background color cyan. If you are not filling any color or even some spaces, it will go with white here. Clear? Right? JSP is very simple, but you need practice compulsory. If you practice, it's very simple topic to us. Right? So in tomorrow's class, we'll go with the next part of JSP, that is JSP action tags, and we even discuss custom tags and JSTL. Right?